Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs, welcome back to Decidedly Neapolitan. Today we're going to do a bunch of stuff, and we're going to do a bit of it now and a lot of it later. This is actually being recorded the day before last week's Decidedly Neapolitan came out, if you can get your head around that. Basically, I'm recording this on Tuesday, February the 23rd, I believe it is, and the reason I'm doing this is because I want to get ahead with a bunch of stuff this week, so I can do some progress off camera, but I want to explain to you what that stuff is first. So bear with me while I go through some stuff I've done off camera briefly. I've basically been expanding my research, and some of the stuff that I've unlocked has unlocked a ton of other things. So for example, now I can duplicate ores using Thaumcraft and the Crucible, right? I'm sure there's a better way of doing this, and there's definitely better ways in the other mods, but Thaumcraft is the one I'm focusing on. So this, you can, as long as you've got the right elements already present in your Crucible, some Metallum and some Ordo, which you can get from a variety of things. I've been using like the ore berries that I get, and some Order shards, but I'm sure there's a better way of getting Ordo, and you can make these iron clusters, which then smelt to produce twice as much iron. So that's kind of a decent way of getting around ore duplication. I've been looking into making some of this Thaumium stuff, and the reason I'm going to do this right now is because I need a sword. I broke my sword on a zombie's face earlier, and I need another one. I've already got one Thaumium ingot because I tested this out earlier on, and so I'm going to try and make another one. And to do that, I'm going to make myself another balanced shard. At least one, I think, will probably be a good idea, because these things are useful for a whole variety of stuff. Can you do that thing where you shift roll and like mouse scroll? There you can. Jefferson raves about this all the time, where you can scroll items into your inventory, so I really need to be getting to the habit of doing that more often, although I don't want to rely on it because he always complains that it's not in the vanilla game when he comes back to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to probably fill up the Crucible, actually, because that needs a little bit more water in it. We're going to slowly fill the Crucible up with these different shards, and they're going to be creating not just a balanced shard, but you can see up there in the top right-hand corner an absolute ton of Precantio, which is the magic kind of side of things. It's given me the balanced shard, and now I take 4 of that to give me a Thaumium ingot, and now this has to boil off the rest of the Vitreous and Precantio. I think that's how you say it anyway. That it's. I always look at the spellings of these things and go, is that how you say it? It's going to boil off the rest of that and probably reduce it down into some like primal aspects, which I might be able to make use of depending on what they are. I forget exactly what they are. But the main thing I want to do is create a Thaumium sword, because I've been using an iron sword for a little while, and I thought may as well make it Thaumium. I don't know if Thaumium has any real benefits to its use, other than the fact that it's just magic and stuff. So I would give this a try real quick, and I don't think I need to make it in this crafting interface necessarily, but that's just the way I'm going to do it. And then because I've got 30 levels, I can try and enchant it and see if we get anything good. Bane of Arthropods 4. Thank you so much, game. To be fair, I do have another mission for the start of this little episode, and I do want to just make sure that this Crucible boils down. Oh gosh, it's releasing more gunge into the atmosphere. That's not good. That's not good. Can I just destroy it or something? I don't... Oh, well, that's released even more gunge, and now I've lost my Crucible. Fantastic. Oh, no, I haven't. I thought I had for a second. But yeah, that's definitely not the best. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. And Kingy has been doing a lot of stuff that has ended up with a little bit of nonsense on the server. A little bit of taint got spread. But that's hopefully not going to be too much of a problem. Can I light this and then put the Crucible down on top of it? No, I can't. It puts out the fire. How am I going to do this then? Let's put the red wall there, and let's take the red wall away. This is an unnecessarily complicated way of doing it, but never mind. And then we'll light that. It's going to destroy the red wool, I guess. We will sacrifice it to the god of Crucibles, and then I'll fill this back up again, and we can just continue on as normal. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, little flux clouds. Be free. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is head over to the location of my future base. And if you can see on the map, and you might be able to see over there, there's an absolute ton of waypoints. Oh, Digon's on the server with me, by the way. Hi. And the objective for this place that I'm going to is to make myself a Thaumcraft base. It's basically going to be my wizard tower, essentially. And the idea is to have these 6 temples surrounding a central tower that's in the middle of this giant lake, which I'll be able to show you once I get over there. I've got myself a little tunnel built here in the nether that is kind of coming off our safe space, and I don't think anyone's planning on turning this into like a giant kind of amazing nether hub build, so we're probably just going to keep it like this for now, unless anybody has any fantastic designs, but that would be really cool if they did, because having a really impressive nether hub on a modded server would just be all the more achievement. All the more of an achievement. And yeah, so ignore the open blocks building guide right here, because that is not going to be the size of my tower. A couple of people have come down here, and I didn't realize it showed for other people, but I left this thing on, and they were like, wow, Pix, you're building something kind of huge. This is not what I plan to build, right? This is not going to be like a tower reaching to build height or something that's that big. Instead, what I'm doing is using it to plot the outside of this circle, at which points along the circle, there's going to be 6 points. There are going to be 6 different temples, each designed around one of the primal aspects. So you've got an air temple over there. The plan right now is to have something like hanging from that natural land bridge that's over there. You just kind of dangle something down from the middle of that, so it's like the air temple, so it almost looks like it could swing in the breeze. Over there, we have the water temple, because that's closest to the large body of water, and it's probably going to have some kind of water theme going on. Up there, we have the Ordo temple, which is going to be kind of all nice and pretty and probably marble and quartz and stuff like that. The Earth Temple is going to be over there. The Fire Temple is going to be over there, because those two are kind of immediately opposite the water and the air ones, and I figure like as opposites they should be kind of at the opposite position. And then lastly, the Chaos Temple is going to be over there, and I have no idea how that one's going to look, but that's the reason I have a ton of obsidian, abyssal stone, and nether brick in my knapsack, because I'm going to be working on these this week. I'm not going to get all of them done necessarily, but I want to get a little bit of them done off camera. I want to do some designs and so forth, and I wanted to get that done fairly soon. By the way, the reason this thing is here, Rick gave me these Twilight Forest blocks. There's a smoking block, and then there's like a fire jet, but I think he said that has to be powered by lava, and I don't know how it works. But I put this here as a kind of smoke signal to say, this is my base, but also underneath here, we have a Thaumcraft villager, who I've been calling Gerald, because that's like my standard name for villagers, but he can sell me some of the stuff that I could get from the alchemy side of Thaumcraft, so I bought a couple of these off of him to try and unlock some other trades. He's unlocked a Ring of Protection trade, and I have one of those, and when my health is full, you kind of see these glyphs appear over the hearts, and sometimes it absorbs some of the damage that a mob hit does to me. And it's only like level 1 protection or something, this runic shield thing, but it's basically giving me extra hearts, so that's all good. So yeah, we're going to be potentially moving some villagers into whatever kind of tower thing I build in the middle here, but basically right here in the center of this lake is where I plan to build my wizard tower, and that's going to be the kind of base for all of my Thaumcraft activities potentially from now on, although I do want to do some stuff still up in the cottage that's all the way up here at the kind of spawn forest, and I'm still going to return to that. And oh gosh, you see that crucible? You see how there's like a pink square over the top of it? That worries me, you guys. That worries me. Anyway, the other waypoint you can see over here is a spider tree. There's a magic forest not too far from here, and I found one of those trees that has a spider spawner underneath it and a chest underneath that. And it's the first time I found one that hasn't already been looted. So what I'm going to do, because I have needed so much string on this server so far, I keep having to go out and fight spiders for string, because I keep finding extra uses for string. They make the enchanted fabric for my Thaumcraft robes. It makes books, after Jefferson showed that fantastic crafting recipe with string and Tinker's Construct patterns that you can use to make books instead of grinding for leather all the time. I've wanted string so much. So I'm going to get that spider spawner and I'm going to turn it into some sort of mob grinder. But for that, I need to move it, and I need to have a diamond dolly. So we're going to make one of those, if I can remember how. I think it's a wooden plank there, and then some of those, some iron ingots around the outside makes a regular dolly, and then you make a diamond one with 3 diamonds across the bottom there, and this, and there you go, that's a diamond dolly. So we're going to take this over to the magical forest. We're going to move this spider spawner, and then this week I'm going to design a grinder for it. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. At this point, I might put it in the community kind of forest, so people can use it themselves. I might build it out here if people aren't that interested in having one nearby, because I imagine people have already found and stored some spider spawners anyway, so we might be able to get some kind of mega grinder on the go. We will see. But I'm going to head over here and grab this thing real quick with my new friend Dolly, and we will see what we do with that this week. And the best part about that is we put it in the knapsack and we can move around freely. So what have we got in here? Some steel boots, all right, some tin, some iridium, couple of music discs, some thaumium. Always welcome to have more thaumium, especially considering that my other stuff keeps releasing chemicals into the atmosphere. Right, so this greatwood tree here has a few cobwebs in here, which I will probably actually take down with some shears when I come back with some shears, unless I had some on my other hotbar. I can't remember if I explained this in the last episode, but I've got a Tinker's Construct tool belt now. Where is it? There it is, which actually allows me to swap between regular tools and Thaumcraft tools. So that's what I've been doing, and it's proven really useful so far. Just been able to get out the thermometer whenever I need it and then pop it away again with the press of a key. That's super handy. So yeah, I can disable this waypoint now. We no longer need to have the spider tree marked on here, and instead you can see all of my waypoints that I've got for my temples. And yeah, we'll be able to grab some of this stuff, take it back to spawn potentially, or leave it around the tower if need be, and we'll make ourselves a spider grinder. Oh my word, what is this? That is huge. Oh my gosh. Look how tall it is. Oh man. I want to take my lumber axe that entire thing. That's hilarious. What even is this? Sacred oak wood. That must be a... Is it a Twilight Forest thing? It says biomes are plenty. I wonder where you get those from. Gosh, that's big. Anyway, this is King E's place, but he's been doing some renovations. I don't want to spoil anything. He's a couple of episodes behind right now, so I'm going to run away from that as quickly as I possibly can. Not sure what else has changed around spawn. Most people have been doing little bases underground, kind of been working on different levels of various tech mods, and I'm going to quickly check Town Hall, because there might be some Thaumcraft stuff dropped in here that I can snag. And there have been a couple of additions to the Town Hall which I wanted to cover, and then I'm going to go and grab some stuff from over at my house, because I want to get myself some silverwood saplings. And there is one in here which I don't want to take right now. I've been gathering some silverwood logs, but I want to grow the actual trees. There's some Crimson Cult stuff in here and everything. Wow, okay. There's another Vis stone, but I have one of them already, so I don't need to worry too much about that. Obsidian tiles, I guess those are from other things. I only really want the shards right now. The rest of this stuff I can pretty much do without all of these apprentice rings. The discount is cool, but you can only wear a couple of them at a time. What is this thing? A void seed. Ugh. That sounds nasty. I'm not sure I want to tangle with that just yet. Anyway, there's also a Thaumium axe in there, but as we've seen, Thaumium is not wholly different to iron. Hello. Hello, deer. There are some deer around now that everyone has decided it's the best idea to transform all of our cows. But you may have noticed the sky has changed a little bit. I've decided to add Lively Default into this as my texture pack, and it's not the full Lively Default. It's the same one I use on Vanilla, the one that's got all of the extra kind of green grass and leaves and stuff taken out. Although this does already look pretty green here, but that's just the biome. There's just this really lovely forest that we've made our home in. But yeah, having the sky and having the different watercolors and stuff, it's not really that noticeable but especially if you go over to the ocean and take a look at some of the kind of coral and stuff that's in with Biomes Aplenty, there is a lot of difference. The deer are just free roaming now, apparently. They seem to have kind of taken over behind my house. I'm not sure if this is somebody trolling me with the deer or something, I don't know. Maybe Rick let a bunch of cows out from his pen. We seem to have been able to stabilize the crucible by putting these crystal clusters around it. Somebody did mention that this was how you do it, and so hopefully that is the truth. But yeah, it makes the water, even the crucible, even look different, and I shouldn't be jumping in there because I could probably cause some damage to myself. So the deer have definitely taken over my backyard. I seem to have turned this into some sort of nature preserve, but that's fine. That's fine. We can get along with them as long as there's not like a ton of them in my house. I was half expecting to wander in here and find a bunch of stuff. I have another present from somebody who's sent me some pointy sticks. These are going to be pretty useful, actually, because I got myself a bow of bone. This is something from the artifice section of the Thaumonomicon. It's over here, and it says you've discovered a way of crafting a bow from bone and infusing it with entropic energy, firing much faster than normal bow, and arrows launched from it travel faster and hit harder. And boy, is that right. I've done some serious damage with this thing. it does like 17 damage per hit. And when you consider a zombie's health is like 20, then yeah, you can almost one-shot a zombie. If I think I did enchant it as well. It's got like power 3 on it right now. If I upgrade this to power 5, it's going to be one-shotting things left and right. So going to keep on rolling with that. I'm going to take the rest of my shards over to the base, including the balanced shards over there, because I do want to get moving with some more construction over there, and I wanted the shards in order to do that. I haven't seen if you can make balanced shard clusters anyhow. I might take a look at that. I think you can make clusters of the different kinds of crystals in one thing as well, so you can have like rainbow kind of clusters. Is there anything else I want to bring over there? I don't think so. From this lot, not really. I'll bring the amber, actually. I might bring that. And the rest of the stuff I can always come back for. That's fine. What I actually came here for was my fortune tools. Now, do I have a fortune 3 anywhere? Forget exactly what I found. Now, I had a silk touch pickaxe. I've got a silk touch shovel I've been using on my other hotbar, and fortune 2 diamond pickaxe. And I'm going to try and use that to get myself some silverwood saplings. I assume that fortune works on other types of leaves the same way it works on regular vanilla tree leaves, and that you can get more saplings from it that way, unless silverwood saplings drop another way, but they seem pretty rare. The trees can sometimes spawn with nodes in. I don't know for certain if that happens when you grow them yourself or what, but if it does, then that would be a really interesting way of farming nodes until you can just get a bunch of nodes that you want. Anyway, let's head back over to my tower, the site of my future tower. Anyway, it's definitely not looking like a tower just yet, and I'll show you the progress. I'll show you what I've done. I haven't really done anything on the spider grinder idea yet. That's kind of been put on the back burner for now, and I've been making enough mob grinders recently, what with 1.9 coming out and me starting that Skyblock stream. But here we go. Here is the site as it currently is, and it doesn't look like a whole lot yet, but if we get over here and we're a little bit more stable, we're not bobbing up and down in the water, I can show you. This is the start of the Temple of Ordo, and this is pretty much entirely marble and diorite. The chisel texture for diorite, still really nice. I like that a lot. I kind of wish there were diorite pillars in vanilla, because they are so much cheaper than quartz, let me tell you right now. So much cheaper. And marble has been in pretty popular demand on this server. We've had a lot of people looking for marble recently. They've been quarrying it out of the ground and all sorts, but I managed to secure myself a decent stash, and I was going to use some silverwood for this, but I really don't like the plank texture all that much. This kind of silverwood plank texture is not all that pretty, except maybe as an accent block, or like the same kind of thing you'd use chisel quartz for, you know? It's nice, but you don't want to build an entire structure out of it, so I'm going to shelve that as an idea. Probably put the silverwood in here for now, because I'm sure I can do other stuff with that later. I imagine there's like wand cores and stuff to be made out of that, and let me grab all of the stuff out of my backpack real quick. I can throw these in the chest here for now. I have everything kind of really disorganized, but I don't really like using inventory tweaks to do stuff. Let's get some of this armor out of the way. Yeah, I don't really like using inventory tweaks to do all of the sorting and stuff for me, because it never puts stuff in the order that I would put it, and obviously I put it in no particular order in here, but if I click one of these, it's going to sort it in all of these weird ways, and I don't know how to open the kind of sorting rules thing up and make it do what I want to do. So anyway, I've got a second villager in here, but I don't really want to keep him. I'm only keeping him right now because I feel bad killing stuff, but this guy wants 8 gold for an emerald as his first trade. I forgot how bad 1.7 villager trades were before they separated them out into the professions and stuff. So yeah, that guy I really don't know what to do with, because you need gold all the time for stuff in Thaumcraft. You need gold for a lot of different stuff, and Jeff has been after all the gold on the server recently so that he can make golden apples and stuff to make his hearts, so I imagine there's not going to be a great deal of gold left on the server if he carries on that way. So yeah, this is the temple, and I made myself, I got another one in my inventory so I can show you, an arcane levitator block. These things are incredible. The idea is that you can just hover your way up to about a 10 block height. That seems to be the upper limit of it, but if you stack more than one of them, then you travel further. So I Only realised that after I'd built this little staircase, but I kind of like the staircase, so I'm going to keep it that way. Almost tempted to put one there just so I can kind of get a quick way up, you know, just kind of hover my way up here, but all I need to do is step on that and I can hover my way up into the kind of central chamber of the Temple of Ordo, and I'm going to put... The plan is, yeah, to have a node of each, like a pure node of each element, if I can find one, on the pedestal in the middle of the temple, and have that on each of the locations around here, and then have this relays getting everything to a one charger that's going to be in the middle of here. And I don't know if this maybe like loses strength over distance and it's better to keep them all together. If it is, I might revise my strategy with that, but I think it would be really cool to be like drawing power from 6 points on this circle and then having it all collected in the middle where the tower is. I think that could look really interesting. So yeah, I'm still working on the design of this, still working on how I'm going to cap it off. I will probably end up getting rid of some of this surrounding landscape, but I wanted to plant silverwood on the way up here, because if you look at this, this is meant to be the Temple of Order, but it's not particularly orderly. Right now, I managed to equal trade out some of the dirt that was around here for stone, and it made quite a nice sort of slope up here, and I added in the cobblestone and stuff, but it still looks a little bit rough. It looks like at least it's well travelled, like people have come up here, but for a temple dedicated to Order, I'm not sure if it's quite right yet. So this may all change, but I do want to do a bit of kind of naturalising of the surrounding area, make it look a bit more natural, and I've been spamming bone meal here and there to get grass and everything, but I want some silverwood trees lining this path on either side. So my plan is to go and harvest some silverwood leaves with my fortune pick and see if we get any saplings. This is what I mean about Lively Default having brilliant like view of the stuff that's underwater, all of the coral and stuff. I mean, that's all lit up anyway, so you can kind of see it from the surface, but you can see all the way to the seabed and look at all that kelp and stuff. That's just really neat. One of the things about Biomes of Plenty, it really adds some lush life to the surrounding environment, and the sea is still one of those things that in regular vanilla Minecraft is kind of plain, so it's nice to see that kind of variety. Now, I'm not going to take down any of the silverwood trees in here that have nodes in, because hopefully we'll be able to do something with those later. What is that? Is that a wisp? I think it's a wisp. Do you reckon we can get it? I think we can get it. Come here, you. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to zap you. I'm going to zap you with my wand. There you go. There you go. We can take on wisps pretty easily now. Had a go at them before, and they were not all that fun to deal with just a sword, but this arcane levitator block is actually kind of handy to take with me, just to get to the odd high place. So I might bring that with me until I have a solution for flying. I know a lot of people have been crafting kind of Tinker's Construct wings and stuff on the server to use those for safe fall and stuff. I haven't really bothered with any of that yet. I will probably end up doing it at some point, but I think for the time being I'm going to leave it. I'm going to see if Thaumcraft has any alternatives. I'm going to try and do this like as pure Thaumcraft as possible, but that belt is just too good to pass up, really. I think it is. Anyway, right. Those trees over there all have nodes in that I can see. Are there any around here that don't, or have they all been harvested by other people? I'm not sure if that many people have come down here, but a lot of the time KB will stream and he'll go exploring. Jeff has been exploring pretty much everywhere on the server recently, and a few of the other guys might have been moving into these areas as well, so I can never really tell. But this one doesn't look like it has a node in it, so how about we drop down our levitator block and see if I can get up into the top branches, as it were. Oh, there's a slime island up there as well. Has that one been raided yet? I wonder. We might find a king slime spawning down here. They tend to spawn on the ground or like fall off the islands quite a lot. Shimmerleaf. Definitely need some more shimmerleaf as well, so we'll grab this while we can. Really useful for getting quicksilver. The other... Oh, great, I stepped on a vis shroom. This will happen occasionally. I will just lumber axe it once we get all of the leaves out of the way anyway, but I just wanted the best possible chance of getting us a silverwood sapling. Come on. Come on. These things are like jungle trees or dark oak trees or something. If you break the leaves, they don't seem to want to drop anything right away. Nothing. stripped the tree to the bone, and we got nothing. Well, this thing is coming down anyway, so oh well. I guess I will probably have to take that silverwood sapling from the town hall after all. It didn't seem like anybody else really wanted it, so hopefully that will be okay, but gosh, what does it take to drop a sapling from these things? I have no idea. I wonder if there's a way we can somehow extract saplings from leaves using a mod, and that will help us. I don't know. Just trying to work on a modded way of getting some of this done already. Well, folks, that is going to be it for today's episode. I'm hovering in midair above the smoke block with my Arcane Levitator, and this actually looks pretty cool. I might intro and outro my videos like this from now on. Oh, what the heck have I done here? Is that, like, the cinematic camera thing? Is that... Oh, it's F7. Okay, good. Okay, right. Yeah, I pressed F7 thinking that was my cinematic camera function, and that seems to show you where you need to light up in order for mobs not to spawn or something. I think Jeff mentioned that in one of his other episodes, so that's kind of cool. Useful to have that. Anyway, my name has been Pixlriffs. Thanks very much for watching Decidedly Neapolitan. By the time you come back for the next episode, we might have a little bit more work done on this area and a little bit more stuff done from Thaumcraft. But until then, there's a zombie down there I want to shoot with my bow. Hang on. Hang on. There we go. Look at that. It's pretty good. And also, if you hold it down, it rapid fires. So that's super cool. Anyway, that's going to do it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys soon. Bye for now.